I've been at Sesame for 17 years, designing interactive stuff for kids, starting with CD-ROMs in the mid-90s and web, done console going back to PS1, handheld like Game Boy, now mobile, touch, and I'm saying all this because this, what I'm going to show you today, is the coolest thing I've gotten to work on the whole time. And one thing that you learn pretty fast at Sesame is, in a situation like this, as soon as possible, you put them up and on the screen.
Dum de dum 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 num 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 num. Ah, oh boy, that banana tasty. Yeah. Wow. New bakery on Sesame Street. Me got to check it out.
Boy, oh boy, I must deliver this box of 5 coconuts to Hooper's store right away. Whoa! Oh dear, I seem to have spilled all of my coconuts. Please help me. Throw a coconut into my box. Roll a coconut to your old pal Grover. Maybe I did not explain this very well. You throw a coconut to me, and I will catch it in this box. Go ahead, give it a good throw. Nice throw. Now I have 3 coconuts in the box.
I'm 4, right? I'm in my living room, I'm watching Sesame Street. Grover spills his coconuts into my house. He asks me to throw them back. I throw, he catches it, he counts it, and I have to throw another one. Thank you, Microsoft, because we can finally do this. We've wanted to do this kind of thing for a really long time at the workshop, and now we have, a viable platform that anyone can get within certain means, but you can get it, you can put it in your house, lots of people have it already, and now we can make this kind of content. Okay, and I know Sesame has a great history in the UK, and but it's kind of like you accept it as this thing that's always there. Sesame started in 1969, and speaking of stories, it's kind of like our origin myth, though it's not a myth, it's a real story, it's a great story. Joan Gans Cooney and Lloyd Morrisett were at a dinner party, and they were asking a question, and the question was, can television teach? And I love that the workshop was founded on a question, because that's how we work. Quickly they answered that question, yes, television can teach stuff. So the next question was, can we use television to teach kids, specifically inner-city underprivileged kids, to make them more ready for school? And the answer to that question was Sesame Street. And so, we're shooting season 43 right now in New York, a whole pile of Emmys, we're all over the world, and millions of kids have grown up on it. And the answer to that question is yes, but we're still figuring out new ways of doing it all the time. And Sesame has a mission, a one-sentence mission, which is this: to use educational power of media to help children everywhere reach their highest potential. Media, all media that kids get their hands on, content. You see how fast it happens. Any new platform that comes out pretty fast gets into the hands of kids. And so Sesame believes that if it's something that they can do, we want to make sure that we're there providing appropriate, developmentally, the right kinds of content to help them reach their highest potential. This is from season 1 of Sesame, and you can pretend for a moment that, like Kinect, I have voice recognition, so you can answer this question. Does anyone notice anything odd about this picture? It's orange. Oscar is orange. Season 1, Jim Henson had Oscar made orange, and then quickly in between that and the second season of shooting decided it wasn't right, and he changed him to green, which probably shocked the hell out of all the production people the first day of season 2, like, what have you done? But and this is kind of symbolic and important to me in the work that I do, because Sesame at its best is a place where you can take chances and try things, especially when you're doing something new like interactive TV, and then hopefully get a chance to look at it critically and make it better. And so Oscar Was Orange isn't an excuse for making crap. It's not a license to just do anything. You give it your best shot. You really try. You take chances. You experiment, and then you try to make it better as you go forward. So what I'm showing you today is season 1 of this Kinect experience, of this interactive TV experience, and I'm sure there's all kinds of orange Oscars in it that when we're able to look at it critically, we'll want to change to green. I don't know what they are yet. But we took a lot of chances and we tried a lot of things and we gave it our best shot, and so that's what we're talking about. Real quick digital history of Sesame, almost as old as our television history. That's before my time working at Sesame, though I think I played that somewhere, 2600 Atari, it's pretty awesome. Stuff I've worked on, like the CD-ROMs and the website. Not so fair to put Once Upon a Monster on this slide, because that's Kinect and something we did in the past year and a half with Double Fine. Pretty cool title. This other stuff, though, is all mouse-based, and the mouse is pretty good at Excel, but pretty bad for kids as an input device. It's something I've always been fighting. And the first set of instructions are always how to use whatever it is, the remote control, the joystick, the mouse. And after that, you can start teaching whatever it is you want to teach. That top example is a pattern game, bagel, watermelon, bread, bagel, watermelon, bread. So the first thing we have to do is say, move the yellow star to the thing you think it is, and click before we can even talk about patterns or math or anything that we actually want to get to. But that sort of changed a bit recently when we went to touch, which is a great interface for kids because it's super intuitive. They gravitate right to it. They kind of know what to do. The instructions get simpler and simpler. We get right to the action and the cool content faster. But Kinect, like where in the past, if we made a game like Coconuts, it would be click on the coconut to throw it to me, which is okay, but it's a sort of metaphor and in between step. It's so much better to just have Grover say, throw me a coconut, and kids without much prompting and all that timeout. He told me 3 times to do it, and that's there for the hesitant kid, but barely anyone needs that because he tells you to throw, and they throw. It's really wonderful. So, also, quick trip through the history of interactive TV for kids. Does anyone know what this was? Nobody? Winky Dink, 60 years old in the 50s. A kind of interactive TV was dreamed up, and it's pretty cool. For 50 cents, you got this kit, which had a piece of acetate and some crayons, and you put the acetate on your TV when it was time to watch Winky Dink, and then he would get chased to the edge of a cliff by a tiger, and he had to cross, so you connected the dots and made a bridge, and then the animated character would walk across the bridge to the other side. Awesome. Couple problems. First one, and it was popular. It was on for a couple years, but eventually they had to kill it because they had this problem that not everyone bought the kit for 50 cents. So a kid would watch the show and get really excited and go find a permanent marker and draw a big line on the TV. And so that started to create some issues. Also, in terms of interactivity, it's not really interactive because if you draw a net, he's not going to fall into the net. And if you don't do anything, he's still going to walk across the chasm and get to the other side. So really cool ideas, but they didn't have something like Kinect under it to really make it really interactive, to really respond to what the kid was doing. In the 80s, Sesame, before my time at Sesame, made this thing with ViewMaster, and it just kind of blows my mind a little because they made interactive TV using VHS, and they hijacked the second audio track on VHS tapes to put some coding there, and so then they had this crazy contraption with a controller, and you could choose which version of the song Oscar was going to sing. And I just bring it up to just show how long we've been wanting to make this kind of thing and the crazy attempts that were done using the technology of the time. This was something we did in 2002 at the Enhanced TV Workshop, AFI, out in Hollywood. And we hijacked DVD players, because at the time, DVD players dropped to like $40. And so we felt like they were super accessible. The adoption rate of the technology was off the charts. It was like the fastest adopted new thing in history in terms of tech of its day. And it's kind of the iPhone 5 of 2002. And so this was using the inherent interactivity in DVD, like motion menus and the subtitle layer and stuff like that, to make the kind of content we wanted to make. the other reason why I bring it up is because we started talking to Microsoft about interactive TV, or interactive video, two-way TV, and this came out of this project in 2002. So that's how long the two companies have been figuring out the space. And this was a not nearly as interesting version of something interactive. So it was two-way TV with this cable company in New York area, but that's what it looked like. It looked like CD-ROM, flash game on the web, whatever. It was pretty limited, and it used the remote control, which is an even worse input device for kids than a mouse, which is the stuff that this project, Kinect Sesame Street TV. This is half of season 1, and just showing you that we broke down, so these are episodes, there's 8 interactive episodes, different kinds of segments that we strung together into sort of shows. And the first one I'm going to talk about, one thing about working with Microsoft, kind of like the military, they really like acronyms. So the first acronym is OIV. The original interactive videos, like the coconuts thing that I showed a bit of earlier. And these are cool because we built from the ground up Sesame Street segments that were supposed to look, feel, and smell like Sesame, but they're built around interactivity. And so we shot for 17 days. We made a whole ton of them. They're really cool. I'm just going to show you kind of a highlight reel of that.
Hey, Bert, what you doing?
Oh, I'm drying my pants, Ernie.
And we're making music. Look at that. Woo!
Ernie! My pants! Huh?
Ah, radical.
That's a big cat, Dad. Whoa! That's fun! A rainforest! Yeah! Whoa! That's circus! Oh,
I can't believe how exciting this show is!
Jump to shake my branches and something will fall out. Oh! That did the trick!
Oh! Oh boy, this one heavy snack.
wow! Glamorous! Really?
I will be counting the days until we play together again.
Cool. So those are the OIVs, and they're all built around simple gestures: jump, throw, or wave. That's it. Another acronym from our good friends at Microsoft: the layered interactive street story. This was really important to get right for Sesame. So the street story is kind of the heart and soul of the show. It's the thing. It's like 10 minutes long. Takes place on the street. People and Muppets. Oftentimes like socio-emotional issues. The heavy curriculum happens there. How do we make this interactive? We have tons of them. We've been doing this for 40 years. To make, we've designed some new television stuff, like Fairy School, where we wanted to have an interactive side of it. So there'll be the narrative for a while, and then on the web, narrative stops, there's a game, solve a problem. Then the narrative continues, stop, play another game. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is the branching story thing. But we've already shot these already exist. We can't rewrite them and reshoot them. So when I went to London the first time to do these kind of creative jam sessions we did to design the stuff, the remit I brought from Sesame was whatever we do interactively with the street stories has to increase attention that you pay when you're watching and playing, and not distract from what you're doing, and everyone was on board with this. And what we came up with was this find the hidden object game. So this first one,
Oh, boy.
it's
Rocco
every time
says
you
he's
see a boat, point and
okay.
take a picture.
Good.
So that
But
boat
Rocco
wasn't,
wants to know
we didn't
why
shoot
he
that boat.
can't
That's
float
not a
like
prop.
Baby
That wasn't on
David.
set. It's
Because
not on
Rocco is
camera.
just
That's a
a
post
rock,
element that
Zoe.
through some Photoshop sorcery, and I don't know what they did exactly, Microsoft, the Soho guys managed to get into the scene. And it's cool because it feels integrated, it feels natural, it doesn't call out, it's not this like layer with a big graphic on it. It's just every time you see a boat while you're watching this story, point and take a picture of it.
Oh, Elmo can play with his car without binkies.
So,
Elmo can play
anyone know,
astronaut on
you
the...
wouldn't know, but can you guess what the hidden object in that thing was? Anyone? It's the rabbit. It was the rabbit on the Jeep that wobbled back and forth and fell down. We saw that, we're like, yeah, this is perfect. This is great. I mean, you would, to us, to anyone watching that, you would assume that that was always there. That's how we shot it. That's what we wanted to be in the scene. No, we added that later. We made it part of a game. The great thing we're finding about these is that, yes, it does make kids pay attention. And then interestingly, it brings in older siblings and parents who want to play along and help the younger kid find all 20 things. And they, like, wait, you missed one. There's one over there. Point, no, there, I see a rabbit. It's great. It brings co-play into it, brings intergen play into it, and it also makes people go back and play it again because they want to catch them all. So it succeeded beyond our hopes. It's great. The last piece is Elmo's World, and this is something else that, this is one that really, working with the Soho guys, they brought so much to this because they'd been playing around with, it's their platform, so they were in the tech and they've been playing around with what the Kinect thing could do in terms of AR, and they had all these weird demos of them running around their office with like multiple versions of themselves and stuff, but they wanted to bring a bunch of these ideas to Elmo's World, and so what happens is Elmo's World is still there in the little TV and the episode's going on. Meanwhile, your space is Elmo worldified, and you're put into it, and you get to interact with the same stuff that's in the TV. So if a frog goes by there, a frog goes by in front of you, and you get to do something with it. And so this is a quick look.
La, la, la. Elmo's World!
Oh,
Thanks.
yeah. Whoa, surf's up. Gotta go ride the wave. Can I sing too? I love new wave music.
Oh, sure. 9, 10. 10 surfers. Count 10. Wow. And 1 wipeout. Are you okay?
Cool. So that's Kinect Sesame Street. Thank you.